of the pandemic. The virus, God bless you. The virus, the evidence is overwhelming, I think escaped from a Chinese government lab in Wuhan.
Just wanted to make the announcement that TYT is now officially pro-Freedom Convoy. You just watched a video of one of the truckers telling Ted Cruz that he sucks as he's attempting to pander to these people, which is kind of badass. And now all of a sudden, I'm here for it. By the way, so far from what we've seen with this truckers convoy, they haven't really caused the same type of problems that we saw in Ottawa. So if you guys want to, like I've said it a million times, you guys want to protest as long as you're following the law and you're not like causing any harm to any people, do you, Booze? That, by the way, took me over the edge. I'm now supportive of them.
Yeah. So we don't even know who said it. It might not even been part of the convoy. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, but it might be a rando walking by the parking lot going, oh, that's Ted Cruz. What's he doing here? He's supposed to be in Cancun.
I mean, the truckers accompanying him at the podium seemed to be amused by it themselves.
Oh, they loved it. They couldn't stop smiling about it. He's back to the serious points. But look, that stuff happens. And I actually think he handled it okay.
Did he? I think that he handled it the way you would expect someone like Ted Cruz to handle it. Someone who loves to take a ride on what? Let's remind the audience.
Beta! You are beta male.
It never gets old.
But look, we covered it in a story earlier today about the Trump plane and stuff. They kind of are literal betas. So it's true in the animal world, there are alphas and betas in some species, right? Including some primates and some monkeys, and we're in that family. And so the right wingers love to give their bananas to the alpha male. And so this guy is constantly trying to be an alpha male. Look at the sunglasses and stuff. But then he winds up being his natural self, a beta. And that's him phone banking for Donald Trump.
After Trump called his wife ugly.
Yeah. I mean, it's the biggest beta you could ever see in your life. So he's out there, he's got the sunglasses on, he's got like a little bit like, not as like, no tie, and he's with the common guys. He's got the guys with the plaid shirts behind him, and he's cool and stuff. And then when somebody makes fun of him, he's like, God bless, I don't mind, I don't. But then he goes back to a serious point while everybody's laughing their ass off. And he just doesn't know how to command an audience at all.
So you're gonna love this because everyone hates Ted Cruz because everyone can see through it, right? Look, I think the one thing that tends to shine through is authenticity. And Ted Cruz doesn't have an authentic bone in his body. Some politicians who are also lacking authenticity are a little more savvy. They're better, they're a little more polished in presenting themselves in a way that might appear authentic, but they're really full of it. Ted Cruz, he's not skilled in anything other than grossing people out. And so apparently a lot of Trump supporters are not convinced with his PR stunt. He kind of like lobbed onto the trucker convoy as a PR stunt. They can see through it. And so the comment sections on YouTube live streams of Cruz's speech were full of viewers reminding others of what he'd said about January 6th. Ted called January 6ers terrorists. One person wrote, too late. He said that's how he felt/feels about the Patriots. Wrote another. Others were open to giving him a chance. Ted is sketchy, but at least he showed up, wrote someone.
Yeah, so he got called out on that, and their side does not brook any dissent, right? So like, you could tell them all the pretty little lies that they want. You could tell 999 of them, but you tell the truth once, that's it, you're toast, right? Those people who broke in, and I read in another story today about how one of the guys who's facing the sedition charges, those are the most serious charges on January 6th, said how he couldn't wait to see Nancy Pelosi's decapitated head roll down the steps of the Capitol Hill. And those guys called them patriots. And Ted Cruz once made the mistake of going, oh, okay, we're corporate Republicans, right? And so I know a lot of my business owners are not happy about this because this creates instability. So those guys were terrorists. And everybody's like, no. And then Tucker Carlson humiliated him on on his show, and he went on there to be a beta, and he was like, "You're right, Tucker. I shouldn't have done it. I'm so sorry for once being correct. I'm so sorry. I'll never do it again." God, what a bitch.
He's so in over his head.
Yeah.
At
So
all times.
those trucker guys, sure, we might disagree with them, and I think they're not headed in the right direction by a long shot. But number one, though, first of all, as long as you don't break the laws and harm others, protest all day long. The left wing loves protests, right? So you want to do a right wing protest, have at it, Hoss. Even if it blocks the roadways for a while, of course. That's what, protests are supposed to make us inconvenient. Like they just got carried away in Ottawa and assaults and all those different things, right? So, but at least those truckers are real, right? They're real dudes. And so when that guy says something funny, they laugh.
Yeah.
And they all laugh because they know Cruz is a beta. They all know it, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you are on this. But before we get too self-proud and smug about the other side, Anna, I gotta say, like, I'm disheartened by people's inability to see through obvious fakeness on both sides, right? It took a long time for them to realize that Ted Cruz was fake. Before Trump came on the scene, people forget this. Ted Cruz was considered the most populist. Like, oh man, he's really with the people.
He was he was a Tea Party guy.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he was raking in millions of dollars in donations from Wall Street bankers. How could you not tell how cheesy that guy is, right? And there's a million other like cheesy, totally fake Republican politicians they don't. But on our side, you can't tell Nancy Pelosi's fake.
Oh yeah.
You can't tell that? And I gotta tell you, you say that around Democrats, they'll get super mad. They'll be like, oh, how dare you? It's only the Republicans. Nancy Pelosi is so real. Oh, come on, are you serious?
Dude, look at those two. Like those are the people. That's the opposition party.
No wonder they get steamrolled, right? And no wonder real like the trucker guys. You think they're gonna like Schumer and Pelosi? Come on, right? And so, and not because of who they are or their background, any of that nonsense, right? Then maybe some of them have that opinions, but that's not why I or other real like people who can tell folks who are fake.
They can't relate to these people.
They can't relate to them because they're obvious elitists. They're obviously fake. Everything is scripted. Everything is phony. Marco Rubio on the Republican side, almost like honestly like 80 to 90% of the senators on the Democratic side. That's why people like Bernie. That's why a lot of people who are independents want to vote for Bernie because Bernie's obviously not fake, right? So, and that's the great irony of Trump is that he seems like such an obvious idiot that it gives you a sense that he's authentic, even though he's lying with everything he says.
I mean, he definitely lies, but there is a part of him that is super authentic.
Yeah, he's not scripted.
Yeah, totally.
And he rarely goes on teleprompter. He rarely listens to his advisors. That's why he'll misspell stuff. He'll weirdly capitalize it because he never got an education.
He's authentically a liar. Like you get.
Yeah. That's a great way of putting it. I was going to say he's an authentic dumbass, but yours is funnier and more true. He's an authentic liar.
Yeah.
He's an authentic con man. That's his true self. At least he's not faking that, right? In a super ironic, meta-ironic way. But when people see like the Bob Menendez, you fill in the blank. Like if I tell, look, Cory Booker is a generally nice guy, okay? Is Cory Booker real? No, he's obviously fake. And then you tell a Democrat, forget Nancy Pelosi, you tell them Cory Booker is fake, they're like, oh, how could you? Come on, guys. Everything is scripted, everything is talking points, nothing is real. It's so obvious, politicians on both sides. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.